Welcome back, everyone. It is time for Monday Motivation, and today we are diving into how to maintain your peace amid life's distractions and chaos. And I'm here with our resident transformational leadership coach, Carol Mendoza, who has some insightful thoughts to share on this topic. So, Carol, you mentioned to me something really interesting earlier, a concept about an internal lane departure warning system. I really think it's interesting. So tell us what you mean by that.
So we all know that the cars nowadays, they have that lane departure warning system. So
Yes.
if you get close to the white or the yellow line, your car will make a noise or your seat will vibrate, something, whatever you have it set. And I think that, it's important for us to understand we all have an internal lane departure warning system. The problem is that we don't always pay attention to it, right? We don't always give it any kind of recognition. And just like if we don't pay attention to the one in our car, we may end up crashing. And I think that that's what happens to a lot of people.
Well, that's certainly an interesting analogy, of course, Carol. You know, our world often tells us, hey, it's okay to feel the way you feel, it's normal, have a certain amount of stress, of course, or a discomfort. How do we know when we've actually crossed the line and we may need to make a change?
Yeah, well, I think that first of all, my personal belief is that there is no normal level of stress. Like, we're not supposed to be walking around with stress. Does that mean that I don't stress out? No, that doesn't mean I don't stress out. But what it means is that we have to recognize this and make sure that we're taking some steps to counteract that, to come against it. You know, discourage comes from courage. Dis meaning the opposite of. And so when we get discouraged, that means we're just a lack of courage. So what can we do to step away from the things that are taking our peace and move ourselves back into a place of that, that nice, calm feeling?
Well, everything that you're saying simply makes all the sense to me. You know, I'm one of those people who wonder sometimes that, where can I find my peace? I won't let anyone steal my peace, but we do have those distractions, and it can be frustrating. So I'm wondering if you might have any practical steps that we can take to kind of stay in alignment and maintain our peace.
Well, some simple things to think about. First of all, now this is not apply to everyone, but it applied to me. When I was working, I would always show up. I would never not be there, right? So I made a planned, unscheduled break every 3 months. And what I mean by that is that I would plan that one day every 3 months I was going to do something unscheduled for myself.
It sounds good to me. I like that. I mean, it kind of brings you back to that place of peacefulness.
Yes. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't show up to work all the time and you're not doing, you probably don't want to do this one. You might not. But so taking a planned break, a planned unscheduled break every 3 months is probably a good idea. The other thing to remember is that when we are not in peace, it typically means that our priorities are out of whack. We're not looking at things the way that we should be looking at them. And that lines right into your belief system, because let's say family is a value that you have, but you haven't been spending a lot of time with your family. That's going to steal your peace. If you are saying, telling someone, I'm not going to be in tomorrow because I have a headache, but you really don't have a headache, and honesty is one of your core values, that's going to steal your peace.
Oh, for sure.
So things like that. So making sure that your values are in alignment with what you're doing and saying, because that will keep your peace. And then the last thing that I could say to you is remove all expectations. Expectations create limitations. Absolutely 100% they do. So when you have expectations of people, when you have expectations of situations, you're always going to get let down, and that's going to create a lack of peace as well.
Well, thank you so much for that valuable information, so much greatness in what you've shared with us today. We appreciate it and look
Thank you.
forward to next week. Carol, can't wait to see you, and we'll do it all over again, continue our motivation for our viewers and of course for all of us here at WSAV. Thank you once again. You can go to WSAV.com/Monday Motivation to check out our recent conversations. Please do that. Thank you.